to the page. Hey, welcome back to Haunted Haze. This is episode 8.
8, yes.
I'm Josh.
I'm Kristen.
Yeah, so welcome back.
So I just want to go ahead and let everybody know, I'm so sorry if you hear some jingling in the background.
Yeah.
You know, our dogs are always in here with us.
It's our puppies, yeah.
They love it. But also, I've been moving because that theme song.
Yeah, you like that beat?
I love it. It just gets me dancing.
Hear that bass? Yeah.
Yeah, every week.
Thank you, yeah. Yeah, I'm the creator of that, so I hope you dig it. Right?
Yeah, for real.
Alright, well, cool. So this week, we're talking about alien abductions.
Oh, this one's a little stressful
Yeah,
for
this
me.
is a little bit different of a scare, right?
I'm probably going to have nightmares tonight, babe.
Really?
Yeah.
You're that scared of aliens?
Abductions.
Yeah, that is terrifying.
Like, I'm okay just knowing that they're out there.
Right?
But
Yeah.
don't
Just
take me.
Stay at a distance. Please stay at a distance.
Don't take me.
Yeah,
You don't want
don't
me.
come pick me up. I don't know. It depends. I just don't want all the probing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you like take me to somewhere cool, yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy, kinda.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Let's explore space together. Yeah. But if you're just like into cutting me and
Like
weird things,
experiments.
yeah, I'm just definitely not feeling it.
No.
But really, that kind of leads me to, I kind of have a personal story about alien abductions.
Yeah, you should tell it.
Okay, well, so it kind of starts out. I'm at my dad's, and we're hanging out, and people are there that at the time I didn't feel like should have been there, like exes, old relatives, and things like that.
It was like just an abnormal group of people
Just
to be
kinda
together.
yeah,
at that
just to
time.
be hanging out at my dad's.
Yeah.
And we're all kind of sitting there, and then all of a sudden we hear this loud, almost like a bell explosion sound, just a boom, you know?
Yeah.
It's the best sound I could do for it.
Kind of just like what I think is of what you would imagine a UFO to sound like. You know,
Yeah, maybe at the time.
beeping sound.
Well, I don't know. At the time, it just sounded like it went across the world. It was so huge sounding.
Yeah.
You know, it just sounded like the earth split in two or something. So everyone starts kind of like panicking. You know, what was that? What the hell is that? What's going on? You know, what's going on? And you kind of just get this impending doom feeling. Like, I just got this impending doom feeling. And I'm trying to find my daughter, Madeline, right? And so I'm like, where's Madeline? Where's my daughter? Where's Madeline? No one can find her, and everyone's kind of like freaked out. So someone has the idea, like, let's go back to the bedroom and basically hide, right? I don't know why that was the idea, but that's all what we decided to do. We all went back to the bedroom and basically hid. And while we were back there, I'm like just angry, like thinking like, what is this? What's going on? I'm so angry. Like, is this God, screw this, fuck this. Is this God doing this? Bring me back my daughter. Give me back my daughter.
Yeah.
Type thing. And someone tells me, I forget who, tells me like to lay down and calm down. Everything's going to be cool. Calm down and lay down in the bed. And so I'm laying down in the bed and I'm trying to like just stop panicking, and I'm trying to like just kind of collect everything and think like, all right, if this really is like some type of Armageddon or something, I'm sure Madeline's good. Like she's at a better place or whatever. Like everything's fine. That's why I can't find her. And I begin thinking like, why would God do this though? Why would God, whatever.
Take her.
Yeah, like if this is God, why would he take her? Like what has she done wrong? Why can't our family be together? And so I'm starting to get angry about it. And at this point, everyone's basically laying in the bed with me. I don't know how, but I can kind of see them all in my periphery, just like laying in the bed with me.
Kind of like that Kanye video.
Exactly, yeah. So their idea was to start praying. And so like everyone starts kind of praying, and I'm in the middle of praying, and I get to the point where I'm like, I would have to go find my daughter, and I'm like, fuck this, and I go to like lean up and sit up, and as soon as I go to lean and sit up, I just feel like this unmovable force just stop me, and then all of a sudden I just feel like I'm tingly, like almost paralyzed type, or whatever. And I'm trying to get up, and as I go to get up again, I feel like this hand, like just pressed down on my chest, and right as it pressed down on my chest, the whole room, it almost like it pixelates and kind of changes, like it was like a hologram the whole time. I wasn't really at my dad's. I wasn't.
You weren't in the bed with everybody. I wasn't really in that bed
with everybody. And at this time, I realized I'm almost kind of like in like a hospital gurney type thing. I'm assuming, but I just feel like this weight on me, like I can't move at all. And as it pixelates away, like the room just kind of feels very hospital-like, just a barren room, nothing really in it, very surgical feeling. And so like everything pixelates away, I'm seeing this, and I go to get up one more time, and this thing kind of comes more into view, and it has its hand on me, and I just can't move, and I see it, and then like it's either like 2, maybe 3 others appear, and they're like these cloaked kind of figures, and I can like see their faces, and they're the most just matter of fact, plain, expressionless face you can see. And I'm even thinking like there might be demons or something, because they're so just menacing looking. And like they do have like these big black looking type eyes,
like how you think of an alien.
Kind of how you would think of the alien is usually depicted. And I'm thinking at the same time I'm seeing this, I'm like, wow, maybe these are aliens. And I'm like, I'm actually seeing an alien, but I can't really see this alien's face. You know what I mean? I can't really get a description other than it just looks blank. And it kind of leans down into me, and I look into its eyes and realize that its eyes are really kind of like just these half-dollar size solid black circles. And the rest of around it is just kind of like it's like sunken in. But it's so sunken in it looks black. So at like a distance or in the wrong light, you would think it like that.
The whole thing
was an eye. But in fact, it just had these like tiny circles for eyes. Not tiny, really, but like a half-dollar.
But it's not like that big black eye.
No, the whole thing wasn't.
It's actually just like sunken in,
and that just kind of stuck with me. Seeing that, and right as I'm seeing this and kind of like realizing what its face looks like, I feel it reach underneath me, and like it pulls something out, and it kind of like comes out of like where my tailbone is, like my lower part of my back, like where my tailbone is, and it just kind of is. It's like a very reminiscent of like kind of that thing that you see in the Matrix movie that they plug in. It kind of looks like a guitar cable in a way, but just real long looking, and it was more of like a needle.
Ooh.
And right as it pulled it out of me, and then as it kind of like lifted it up where I could kind of see it, I woke up. Right, and I woke up. I was somewhere completely different. I didn't even realize that I was even supposed to be there. I don't even remember sleeping there. And but I lived there, right?
So but you just like don't. You just all of a sudden you're waking up and you're at your house.
So I'm like, how the hell am I here? And I kind of like reach and like feel on the bottom of my back, and there's like some blood. And it's like blood, and I check and see, and I have like a small little cut.
That's
right there where the tip of my tailbone would be.
It's almost like something like would go into your spinal column.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it felt like when it pulled it out too. it kind of felt like it was like, you know,
That's wild.
ejecting out of my sensory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like, you know, think of all the nerve endings that are in that spot, right?
Right.
Isn't there like a ton in your back and your lower back and stuff?
Yeah, exactly.
That's interesting.
So anyway, I chalked that up to like probably being a dream, right?
Yeah,
But it
I
was
mean-
so real. It was so vivid that I can still see it, like if we went to, you know, Disneyland.
You remember it,
I can
like-
remember it. Yeah.
The only,
So-
I mean, like the only even kind of UFO experience or alien experience I think I've had, it was with you.
Yeah.
It was probably like the summer of 2011.
Okay. Yeah.
And, or no, 12.
Yeah, 2012.
2012. And we were at my mom's and we were in the car in her
Yeah.
driveway. And we're looking out and like where her driveway looks, there's like this gap in between the trees and the houses and stuff, and you can kind of see out into the distance.
Yeah.
And so we're like looking, just kind of looking at the sky, looking at the stars, the moon. We always do that. So
Yeah, we're always stargazing, looking
Yeah.
for shooting stars and stuff.
absolutely. So we were doing that, and all of a sudden there's like this bright, super LED circle,
Yeah.
like
it looked like a
dot in
flashlight
the sky.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, like it just started moving very erratically,
Yeah.
like up and down and sideways and like just crazy shapes.
Yeah, everywhere. Yeah.
No, like a plane doesn't fly like that.
No, it
A
was
drone doesn't fly like that.
yeah, it was, and it was too fast for like a helicopter. Or
I mean, it was like
anything that.
super fast.
Yeah.
I have no, and then I think it just kind of like went away.
Well, well, it kind of did go away, but it went behind some trees that we couldn't really see.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's like the only, and it's not, I mean, it's just, I saw something in
I know,
the
it's
sky.
very
I should,
strange.
why did I not video it?
I know, right?
I'm like,
What are you doing?
I know.
Yeah.
We could be on
think you just-
paranormal caught on camera.
I wish, yeah. Check this out. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's really hard to believe some of this stuff until you kind of have your own experience with it, which is a lot like ghosts, right?
Yeah, same.
Which is kind of crazy because there's a lot of people that experience this, and we
Yeah.
have a few stories to kind of add to this.
Well, before that, though, real quick, I have a kid say the damnedest things.
Okay, yeah, the kids say the damnedest things.
Okay, so when I was 7, while in bed one night, I saw the devil in my ceiling of my bedroom. My mother insisted I must have been sleeping, but I knew I was awake. Years later, when I told my wife and daughter the story, my daughter told us that when she was 8 years old, she saw the same thing.
Oh, God.
She said, I never told you because I thought you wouldn't have believed me.
Oh, man. Parents just
Isn't
don't
it-
understand.
You know they don't.
Kids say the damnedest things, dude.
They
I
really
swear.
do.
It's so
It's
creepy.
creepy, like, oh, and so it makes me think as a parent, would I believe every, you know,
I don't know. It depends, I guess.
it's
Depends
how
on how many
serious
times
you
they-
take it.
yeah.
And kids are sensitive to this kind of, we've said it before, but kids are sensitive to this kind of stuff.
Yeah, kind of. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of for sure. Anyway. So I guess we have some more stories to add to about the alien abductions. But before we go any further, we please ask you to hit us up at hauntedhazepodcast@gmail.com.
Yes, and on Facebook and Instagram
Yeah.
at Haunted Haze Podcast on there as well.
Yep, hit us up. Give a shout out. Thanks for all the recent likes. Thanks for all
Yes.
the shares. Thanks for all the, just communication back and forth. We really appreciate it. It's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
it's been
Like,
fun. I'm really excited about it to keep moving forward. And we need verses, suggestions.
Yeah.
And
so
we
it's
want
versus
your
suggestions.
stories. We're
Yeah,
going to make
send
like a
your stories.
special episode of everybody's stories, I think.
Yeah, we're kind of working on that. Yeah.
So that'll be fun.
Putting that
And
together. A bunch of ghost stories.
yeah.
We got a bunch of things coming up, so hopefully you've been enjoying it so far. Hopefully you continue to listen.
Yeah.
And continue to tune into our different scary stories each
Yeah.
week.
All right, so tell me the stories that you found.
All right, so this is in Australia. This is the Gandaya McKay abduction.
Oh.
Amy Rowlands, the then 22, her husband Keith, and her friend Petra were at the Rowlands' home in Gandaya, Australia in October 2001. Petra was woken at 11:15 p.m. went into the living room where she was horrified to find Amy being carried into a sleeping position out through the window on a beam of light to a huge ship inside. Petra woke Keith, but by the time he entered the room, Amy was gone. The curtain was torn, and bushes outside were burnt. The pair phoned the police, who struggled to take the claim seriously. However, around 90 minutes later, Keith received a phone call from a woman in Mackay, Queensland, an 8-hour drive from Gandhi. She said she was with Amy, who was in the hospital, dazed and dehydrated. No one could explain how she traveled such a distance in such a short time. Amy was uninjured, except for red marks on her upper thighs and heels. She said she remembered lying on a bed with tall figures leaning over her, reassuring her and taking samples from her. When she was found, her body hair had grown considerably, suggesting she had been gone for much longer than the few short hours she was missing.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
This next one is the abduction of Jesse Long. Jesse Long was just 5 years old when he says he was abducted by aliens for the first time. He was exploring the woods with his brother when they came upon a road structuring in a clearing. A tall figure appeared and paralyzed the boys. Jesse remembers being taken into the craft and placed on a cold table. He could feel the figures around him, poking and prodding his legs. Over the next few years, Jesse says he was abducted repeatedly. He claims he was experimented on, including having sperm extracted that was used to crossbreed with a female alien. In 1990, he says the aliens presented him with a baby, which they said was his. He also met 9 more of his hybrid children. Jesse, now 65, says he knows many people who won't believe the story, but insists he's telling the truth. He's like, who are all these damn kids?
You think he wonders about his alien baby sometimes?
It reminds me of that guy from True Blood. He got all those fairy
Oh, yeah, the fairy babies?
Yeah.
Andy Belfleur.
Yeah. All right, so this next case, this is a pretty famous case, the Barney and Betty Hill case. Barney and Betty Hill were driving back from a holiday in Niagara Falls in September of 1961. They noticed a light in the sky, which got closer, eventually appearing as a huge shape hovering above their car. Barney got out and through his binoculars says he saw 11 humanoid figures in shiny black uniforms and capes watching them. Terrified, the couple drove off. However, they both claimed to have experienced a buzzing sensation, and when they finally arrived home at dawn, the 4-hour journey had taken 7 hours.
Wow.
The Hills' clothes were torn in strange places, and Betty found a mysterious pink powder on her dress. She began having intense dreams about the experience in which skin samples were taken from her and a needle thrust into her navel. Later, she drew a star map which she said she had been shown by the aliens. Barney and Betty Hill were respected in their community. Barney was involved in the civil rights movement, and Betty was a social worker. No one had any reason to suspect they were lying. This is the abduction of Antonio Vilas Boas. In October of 1957, a Brazilian farmer named Antonio Vilas Boas saw a red star in the sky. The light got closer until Boas could make out a spaceship, which landed on 3 long legs in his field. He tried to escape on his tractor, but was grabbed by a small humanoid with blue eyes. Boas claimed he was taken aboard the ship and covered in a gel-like substance. He was then forced to have intercourse with a female creature with bright red pubic hair, so as to produce a human-alien hybrid to be raised by aliens. Boas was eventually escorted from the ship and arrived back on Earth 4 hours later. He had burns on his body, nausea, legions, and headaches, and a doctor diagnosed him as suffering from a radiation sickness. Boas later trained to become a lawyer and stuck to his story his entire life.
And again with the alien babies.
Yeah, they lubed him up, have sex with this redheaded girl.
With bright red pubic hair.
Yeah, it's kind of sounds like a fantasy, really. This is the sort of Travis Walton and his UFO incident. In November of 1975, 6 forestry workers in Arizona reported seeing their colleague Travis Walton blasted through the air in a beam of light from a UFO above the trees. The workers reported Walton missing, and police suspected he had been murdered by the group who had disposed of his body. But 5 days later, Walton reappeared, claiming he had been abducted by aliens. He described waking on a table surrounded by small figures in orange gowns. Their skin was smooth and chalky, and their bald heads were too large for their bodies. Their huge eyes were shiny brown. Walton escaped from the aliens and fled through the ship. He eventually met more humans on board dressed in blue uniforms. They didn't speak to him, but forced a gas mask on his face so he lost consciousness. Walton claims the next thing he remembers was waking up, shaky and confused, on a roadside in Arizona.
That's interesting.
Party with him.
Yeah.
Drop
If
him
I
off.
am abducted, hopefully the party aliens abduct me.
Yeah, right. Yeah, not the creepy.
That's the ones I'll
aliens.
fit in with.
Not the stabby ones. Yeah.
No.
All right, this is the attempted abduction of Colonel H.G. Shaw. This was one of the earliest reported alien encounters and was written up in the Stockton Evening Mail in 1896.
Oh, wow.
Colonel H.G. Shaw was traveling with a companion by horse and carriage towards Lodi in California. Suddenly, the horses startled, and they saw three strange beings at the side of the road. The creatures were slender and humanoid in appearance, but 7 feet tall and bald except for a velvet soft down that covered their bodies. They didn't speak, but warbled to one another as if they were chanting. They held lamps that shone unnaturally brilliantly and seemed to be formed from some sort of glowing mineral. Shaw said the creature possessed a strange and indescribable beauty. The aliens attempted to lift Shaw, and he felt they wanted to carry him away, but he was too heavy for them. Eventually they moved away, floating just above the ground. Shaw followed them until they reached a huge cigar-shaped spaceship in the air. The creatures flew up to it, disappearing inside the door. The ship departed and was soon lost from sight.
That's really interesting.
Yeah. The Hillary Porter case. Hillary Porter from Wales claims to have been abducted by aliens countless times through her life. At 5-year-old, she remembers playing in the long grass beyond her home. A reptilian alien appeared. It had scaly skin and black holes for a nose and a mouth. It was 5 feet tall and exceptionally strong. It grabbed Hillary and carried her on its disc-shaped ship. Porter was stripped and placed on a bed, then prodded with various instruments. At that point, she says, she blacked out. Years later, while driving with her husband, she says their car suddenly pulled up at a garage and they both had no memory of how they had got there. When she undressed later that day, she had a triangular red suction mark on her stomach. After all her abductions, Porter suffering piercing migraines, and she is sometimes working with bruises, scratches, and even bloodstains on her clothes. Porter, who once worked at the Ministry of Defense, has made drawings based on memories of her alien encounters. She says the beings communicate with each other telepathically and have been sent to extract human genetic material on Earth. This is the last one I have, the Corey abduction. One night in February 1998, Peter Corey was asleep in his bed when he felt something grab him by the ankles. He experienced pins and needles run through his body and was paralyzed. He saw 3 beings around his bed. They were gold with slits for mouths and large black eyes. Corey said he was aware the creatures communicated telepathically. They inserted a needle into Corey's head and he blacked out. Corey's second alien encounter was more disturbing. During this one, female aliens with long white blonde hair came to his bed and engaged with him sexually. After the encounter, he found a long blonde hair tied around his penis. Corey claims that subsequent DNA analysts found the hair was biologically different to human hair, and he is certain his encounter was extraterrestrial life forms. That's another sick fantasy.
I know, like, these aliens just want to get it on with humans.
Yeah,
that honestly makes alien abductions even more terrifying.
It's very rapey.
It is very rapey. Well, I have some stories too, and let's just hope that they're a little less rapey, okay?
For sure, yeah.
Okay. So, number 1, the Montana encounters. Sheila Young, who works as a preschool carer in Troy, Montana, says she and her family were abducted by aliens and that it was the most horrific experience of her life. The 53-year-old told me that in the fall of 1989, me and my then husband and our 3 children were abducted and terrorized every night for 6 months.
Oh my God.
My children, who are now grown, all still suffer from PTSD from our experience. She explained that we lived on an 8-acre farm in a semi-remote location in northwest Montana when our abductions began. I believe that the incident started in October. It was the fall for sure, and it really negatively affected my then husband while he was hunting. It was the most horrific and terrorizing experience I have encountered to this day. My husband and my 3 children were playing family games in our home when outside my husband saw a streak of fire shooting across the sky.
Wow.
We went outside and we saw whatever it was seemed to have crashed and fallen from the sky on the upper part of our land. We investigated the next day as it was too dark to see anything at that time, and we noticed that the treetops seemed burnt, but we found no evidence of anything fallen or crashed.
Wow.
The next evening was normal, and we put the children to bed, and my husband and I turned in for the evening. Around 3 a.m., we were awoken by a bright light coming through the entire house, and we were keenly aware that we were being watched. Recalling what she says, her encounter with the extraterrestrials, Sheila added, I have a scar where I remember being hooked to some sort of TV monitor night after night with hundreds of other humans.
Wow.
Those days and hours etched into our memories. We did not report the incidents to our we did report our incidents to our pastor, who came to the house and did a house blessing, which seemed to have helped.
Wow, that's weird.
She doesn't go into much detail of what happened, though.
Yeah.
During their...
But for 6 months for that to be going on, it's crazy.
It is terrifying. So this is the vein invasion. Alright, so this person said, I had an awful experience that I know cannot have been a nightmare because I keep having flashbacks and feel sick with fear when I remember.
Yeah.
You might know that feeling.
Yeah.
I woke up and there was people surrounding me, or things. I can't remember what they looked like. I screamed and ran to my mom's room, but she couldn't hear me. When I pulled the covers over her head, nobody was there. Everything sort of melted around me. The story goes on. There was a cannula in my hand, and there was a white fluid in the syringe. I screamed, and then they put me into the cannula. It hurt so much, it felt like I was burning inside, and I remember the pain. I almost blacked out with pain. I felt smoke in my throat, and it tasted acidic and thick. I pushed my way out of this tube, and I ran. I kept on running. They held me down, and they put more liquid in me. The pain almost killed me, and then I blacked out, and I was back in my room. All night, I tossed and turned in pain, and I realized my voice had been totally silenced. The thick smoke in my throat muffled my voice. I screamed for them to take it out. I did not wake up until 6 o'clock in the afternoon. My mom had to wake me up because it was so late. The veins in my hand were sticking out and itching and stinging with pain.
Oh, God.
I took painkillers, but nothing helped. Another user said when I was young, about 4 or 5, I had my experience. Up until a few years ago, I thought it was a dream because it was very vague. But throughout the years, the memory keeps getting more and more clear. Here's what I can remember as of now. I remember me as a child. I'm on the table, and it's like a slab in the middle of an all-white room. It was extremely bright. I was in an outfit that reminds me of a hospital gown, and I can't move my body or my head. I can only look around with my eyes. Suddenly the door opens, and it was like an automatic door. Behind the door, it's all white as well, and suddenly these 2 people are in the doorway. They were very, very tall, probably like 7 foot or so, extremely thin, and pure black, so I couldn't make out any features. I've dealt with strange things all my life. Scars magically appearing on my body, bruises when I wake up, etc.
Ugh, God.
That seems to be a running theme, too, in these abductee people.
Yeah, I
Is
know.
waking up with sores and scratches. Oh, God, do you think that happens?
Yeah, I have a thing in my arm. It's like a bump. You can feel it.
Oh, no, babe.
You can feel it.
Oh, I do kind of feel it.
Yeah, what is that? That's crazy, huh?
Babe, I swear to God, please don't let these aliens abduct me.
I can't control that.
You have to protect me.
No, I'm sleeping.
We got married.
No, take me, not her.
Yes, exactly.
Where was the party aliens? And you're going to let me go with them?
Can I go if it's the party aliens? I'm down.
There's a budding process here.
Is there White Claws aboard?
Yeah. Hop aboard. Come sail away. Come sail away.
Okay.
Anyway, sorry.
It's okay. I have more stories. So one of the most enduring of all UFO myths happened in Roswell back in 1947.
Oh, yeah.
When William Brazel came across what he described as a large area of bright wreckage made of rubber strips, tinfoil, and rather tough paper and sticks. An FBI investigation concluded that the wreckage was from a weather balloon, but it was later revealed that that was probably a nuclear test monitor.
Yeah, I've heard that.
The secrecy of the government on this issue has left people skeptical to this day. This one is the Pascagoula abduction.
Oh, yeah, Mississippi.
Charles Hickson and Calvin Palmer were fishing near Pascagoula, Mississippi in 1973, when the pair claimed to have heard whizzing sounds. Next, they spotted a vague oval shape in the sky with two blue flashing lights. Beings apparently came out of the ship, each 5 foot tall, with bullet-shaped heads. They had no eyes, gray wrinkled skin, and claw-like hands. The two men became famous after the alleged incident, appearing on news programs and even talk shows.
Yeah.
They wrote a book about their experience.
Yeah, that's one of the most talked about alien abductions.
There's like a little picture here of their
Creature man?
creature,
Yeah.
and let me tell you, it's terrifying.
Yeah, it looks like a weird, never mind.
Yeah, we're not even, it does look, it looks dirty. Okay. Okay, this one is Whitley Strieber, was already well known as an author on aliens and UFOs when he experienced his first alleged contact in 1985. Sleeping on his isolated cabin in New York City, it's New York State. He was awoken by his alarm. He rushed outside to check what was going on, only to find a creepy, motionless creature standing before him. And then he claims to have taken to a mysterious ship where the creature began experimenting on him.
Oh, God. You know the experimenting.
Yeah, no experimenting aliens. Strieber recalls long needles being stabbed directly into his brain. Strieber has never been the same man after that night.
It's like they just test out the needle. Like, maybe I can stick it in your belly button.
What happens
Stick
then?
it right in your brain.
Okay, so this is the Robert Taylor incident.
Okay.
Forestry worker Robert Taylor said he spotted a spacecraft in the skies in West Lothian, Scotland in 1979. After spotting the UFOs, he returned home with torn clothes and scratches all over his chin and thighs. He claimed the flying dome was a large, dark, and metallic object.
Whoa.
That's odd.
These people clearly see things.
Yeah.
You know, like...
And remember it.
Well, yeah, you would definitely remember something like that. I'm just saying, how do you make these things up? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the thing about with my story, like, with the eyes. Why would how's that, why was that detail?
And yeah, like, you remember, like, you wouldn't make that up.
Yeah.
That's a weird thing to...
Why would I say they just had, like, big brown eyes?
Yeah.
You know? I don't know.
Alright, so this one says, in November of 1989, a housewife named Linda was allegedly drawn out of her bed in New York and beamed up to a spacecraft covered in bright lights. The incident happened at about 3 a.m. However, there were 2 witnesses to it. Other unrelated witnesses also have claimed to see the event, some thinking it was a movie being filmed. This is one that has remained a great mystery.
Ooh.
Well, I just want to know, did she ever come back down?
Yeah, right? Didn't it say that?
No, it doesn't say. She got beamed up.
I've heard about that, though. Like, people have just disappeared.
And don't come back?
Just don't come back.
I
That's
hope it's
crazy.
not the rape aliens.
That's so awful. That's not funny.
Yeah, it's not funny.
Yeah, I know. It's just awful and scary and terrifying.
I know. It's like there really are rape aliens, apparently. From these stories,
Yeah.
they want you to have
They're
alien
stabby.
human babies.
Yeah.
Okay. Air Force Sergeant Charles L. Moody was checking out a meteor shower in New Mexico when around 1:15 a.m. he saw a glowing, metallic, saucer-like object lowering him to the ground. Moody claims it began wobbling unnaturally before making its way towards him. Scared, He tried to start his car, but the engine wouldn't start. He claims that his body then went numb and that the ship began emitting a loud, high-pitched sound. The mysterious craft got so close that he could make out ghoulish, tall figures inside staring at him.
Ugh.
The alien trance ended as suddenly as it had began, and Moody found himself driving home. It was around 3 a.m. Over the next few days, he developed a rash that spread all over his body. Weird.
That's weird.
All right, so
Very weird.
this is the last one I have. Ronnie Dawson. He is employed as a crude oil transport driver in Texas. One night, he was inspecting some oil from a large tank battery when he spotted a strange aircraft flying over him. Scared, he kept to his wits and climbed down from the tank and began filming. In the sky, he claims he saw pulsating orbs that rapidly changed altitude and shape.
Ugh.
Ever since then, Ronnie claims to have continued seeing the lights, as though someone or something is watching him.
Wow, that's creepy.
Yeah, it
If
is.
they know that you know, that they know.
Yeah, it is.
That's super creepy.
Really, I just hate it.
I know. I would love to see something like that again, like especially like what we saw with the light and like something in the sky.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want any more abductions. I don't think. Never. I'm good with that. Unless we're going somewhere awesome.
The party aliens.
The party aliens, they're welcome.
Mm-hmm.
No other aliens are welcome.
And also, with the party aliens, I want to come home when I want to come home.
I doubt
Can I
it.
Uber?
Yeah, Uber. Yeah, can we galactic Uber? Wow.
Okay, so moving on. Again, I got some freaky facts for us.
Oh yes, awesome. I love freaky facts.
Alright, so in 2019, North American UFO sightings jumped from 3,300 to 6,000
Wow.
in 2018.
That's
So almost
huge-
doubled.
Yeah.
That's wild. So number one in UFO sightings actually was California. They had 485. And number two is Florida.
Surprise,
385.
surprise.
If anybody's going to see a damn UFO,
Yeah, some
it's
Florida
a
guy.
Floridian.
Yeah, it's a Florida guy. No,
For sure.
No offense to Florida.
No, but the
people.
weirdest shit happens there, and you can't deny it.
Yeah, right? Yeah, always.
In April of 2020, the Pentagon released UFO footage. So
Yeah, how crazy is
I
that?
remember us talking about that when it happened, like
I know, and everybody just kind of brushed it off. Like, oh, yeah, did you hear about the aliens?
coronavirus.
Yeah,
Let's talk
anyway.
about that instead.
Yeah, crazy.
We're not going to be sick of that in a year. All right.
Bring back the aliens.
Astronomers at Carnegie Institution in Washington, D.C. compiled a list of 17,129 nearby stars that most likely have planets that could support complex life.
Damn. So, yeah, definitely, come on, dude. There's definitely...
You're telling me that they know of 17,000 stars
See, yeah.
that have planets.
How do they know that?
What if they have 9 planets? They could have 17 planets. Who knows, depending on the
exactly.
star size, I would think.
Yeah.
The bigger the
Hopefully
star,
they-
the more the gravitational pull is.
I'm not down with like the war aliens either. The ones that want to like kill you and war.
I think that's
you-
only in movies.
I don't know.
Okay, so I just so I just have these last two things real quick.
Alright.
All right. In popular culture, the term UFO or unidentified flying object refers to a suspected alien spacecraft, although its definition encompasses any unexplained aerial phenomena. In UFO sightings that have been reported throughout recorded history happen in various parts of the world, raising questions about life on other planets and whether extraterrestrials have visited Earth. They became a major subject of interest and the inspiration behind numerous films and books following the development of rocketry after World War II.
Wow.
And then flying saucers. The first well-known UFO sighting happened in 1947 when businessman Kenneth Arnold claimed to see a group of 9 high-speed objects near Mount Rainier in Washington while flying his small plane. Arnold estimates that the speed of the crescent-shaped object as several thousand miles per hour. He said that they moved like saucers skipping on water. The newspaper report that had followed said it was mistakenly stated that the objects were saucer-shaped, hence the term flying saucer.
Oh, wow.
Well,
why depicted as that then? Like saucers skipping over water.
Yeah, that's weird.
Like, that's a weird description.
That is like something nobody would normally say.
Right.
Really.
Well, those are really good facts.
Yeah.
Aliens are creepy.
Creepy as heck, for sure.
I would love to see another UFO, though.
Yes, I'm okay with seeing a UFO, but like...
I love painting these things, too, by the way.
Oh, yeah, you should check out Levitation's View.
Yeah, check out my... if you're interested in the paintings I do, I do a lot of UFOs and aliens and space, stuff like that. I just enjoy it. You know, it's just cool to make that stuff.
Even here in our little studio we got going on, we got some UFO paintings and stuff.
Yeah, we got some UFO paintings I've done.
Among a lot of other things.
Yeah, a bunch of decor in here.
Yeah.
Alright, so... Alright, so it's the news. You want the news? Here we go. Throughout 2012, a series of bizarre horse murders have been occurring in the English countryside. In January, a 2-year-old stallion was found dead, with his eyes, teeth, and genitals mutilated. Months later, in May, a pregnant mare was also found mutilated after being attacked with a blunt object. She died after giving birth to a stillborn foal. Oh. Finally, a few days after, a third horse was found beheaded on a bench, marked with a cross topped with a gull's head. No link has been made between the 3 cases, although locals in each instance claim that black magic or Satanism is somehow involved. At a U.S. Postal Service sorting facility in Orlando, Florida, employees discovered a mysterious package leaking a brown, sticky chemical and covered in tubes and wires. According to its return address, the parcel came from Yemen. Jeffrey Little, the shift supervisor, had the facility evacuated and moved the package to a hazardous material zone. Soon after, Little became sick, suffering from fatigue, tremors, and neurological issues, all consistent with exposure to toxic chemicals. The Postal Service, however, claims the events never happened and that no such package ever existed, even after other employees and documents confirmed Little's story. The Postal Service still denies the incident. Doctors have so far been unable to determine Little's exact illness.
Wow.
And there you go. That's the scary news of the week.
I love the music for the news, too.
Yeah, made it up myself, a cappella.
Okay, so you know what time it is.
You know what time it is.
It's versus. Woo!
Yeah, so
which is scarier?
Yeah, which one? So we put one scary thing against another, and we debate which one we think is scarier.
So I think it's your turn to pick this week.
All right.
We
got the super duper secret box.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to reach in. Here we go.
Pull it out of the box.
Here we go. Oh, wow. Alien abduction versus possession.
Swear to God,
yeah,
we did not know that. This is always random.
These are always random. How creepy is that?
We were just meant to talk about aliens today.
Yeah, for sure. It's just the alien film episode. So alien abduction versus possession. Well, I have to give alien abduction a little bit right now because we just pulled this out of the box.
Yeah.
Randomly.
And really alien abductions, the rape aliens are fresh on the mind.
Yeah, right.
And I'm scared.
But overall, I think I have to give possession to be the scariest thing. A possession, the devil, demon.
Yeah, because everybody except for that little sentence you told me earlier that some people don't come back.
Yeah,
most people come back from an alien abduction.
Exactly, and most people seem pretty fine and live
other than some PTSD.
Lives. Yeah, a little PTSD, but you know, what's a possession? Possessions can kill you
and take you to hell.
Yeah, both, right?
Yeah, that's really the worst part of.
These aliens can abduct you and take you to heaven.
Or just
heavens.
Space. Yeah.
You know, whichever way you want to look at it.
Alright, well, so at least you're going up with the aliens.
I don't know, there's definitely been some scary abduction movies, like The Fourth Kind.
Oh, that one's
Dark
really
Skies.
Signs. Well, I guess they don't get abducted in Signs.
Not really, but they came to invade. So, yeah, I think I'm going to have to give it to Possessions. What do you think?
I think I'm going to go with the aliens right now.
Really? Okay. Well,
Yeah, I mean, I know that we said
both of these
it's
are
just-
terrifying, really.
yeah, and I just like have
We start thinking
a
about those
visual
movies.
of it, of like an alien standing in our bedroom door.
I know.
Babe, we have to switch sides of the bed. I cannot sleep. I cannot sleep closest to the door anymore.
Do you think there's gonna be one standing right there?
In the doorway.
doorway.
And like the dog, Zeppelin will want to love it.
Hopefully it's not menacing and evil. So it also kind of takes us back to a conversation we had before about like aliens and demons. Are they the same thing?
Oh,
so
yeah.
alien abduction, possession.
Is that
that's
kind
also
of the same thing? I
So
don't.
that's good. I mean, I like being split because I really like both of these are terrifying, really, to me. But I lean more possession.
But we want to know what you think, like always.
Yeah, so send us your thoughts at hauntedhazepodcast@gmail.com. Hit us up on Facebook, Instagram.
Yes, all of the above.
Yeah.
Because that's what's the funnest part for us is hearing from you.
Yeah, the interactions with everyone we've had has been really,
Yeah.
really cool. Like, we've really enjoyed it. Continue to share us, review us, rate us. Thank you for all of that. I hope everyone's enjoying all the scary things that we've been talking about. We got a bunch of ideas coming up, a bunch of things that we plan on doing.
Yeah.
So
And maybe I want a guest.
yeah, you want to do a guest?
Yeah.
I have some ideas for some guests actually.
Me too.
So-
So we'll be getting to that eventually, working our way there.
Yeah.
But we have some really good topics coming too.
Yep. So hopefully you stick with us. Thanks for coming back.
Yes.
If this was your first time, welcome to Haunted Haze.
Yes, and we're gonna beg you to death. Go like us on social media
Yeah,
and
for
send
sure.
us an email. Tell us the scary thing that's happened to you.
Yeah, that's still the main thing. We still want to hear your
Yes.
scary
That's
stories.
why we started
Send us
this
your scary
podcast.
stories. Yeah.
It's
Let us know
the
your
number
scary
one
stories.
reason. Yes. So thank you so much for coming back.
Yeah, thank you for listening. We'll be back with another episode 9.
Yep, next week. Peace out.
Peace out. Stay haunted.